Hey Trent, knock.
Who's there?
Not Valk. Alright. Hello everyone, welcome to Black Desert Voice of Adventures number two. So this is the 2.2. This is our second Voice of Adventurers. Thank you for joining us. My name is Shirna.
My name is Trent.
So we're on the wrong sides today.
Yeah,
we should have switched actually between you and
But then
now.
we'd have to switch computers.
We could have just moved the monitors.
It's too late now.
It's too late now. Okay. Okay, so VOA is where we're just going to talk about things that you guys wanted to know, that you guys put out during the survey. We are a little bit tired. We did take a nap, but we're still kind of sleepy.
Yeah, we'll go over what Voice of Adventures is. So we released a survey a little while ago, and those questions were general feeler questions, I guess.
Yeah.
And what we wanted was to get those numbers in and then talk to you guys directly about those things more in detail so that we have something to go to the devs with instead of just saying, fix this and, do this. We want to get actual feedback from the community. So that's what the Voice of Adventures is. You won't have to see us play the game. It's just us talking with you guys.
Yeah, unfortunately, you do have to see us in HD as we do have a different camera for today. We finally set up the really nice camera that we have. So, yeah, basically, this is going to be very similar to the EU VOA. We're going to go through the same topics. We're going to talk about the same things. The numbers are the same because we combined everything.
Yeah. And the same thing with the EU VOA. This is for Xbox. So this is the Xbox VOA. If you're from PlayStation or you got lost and you're from PC, thank you for joining us. You're more than welcome to stay. But next week we'll do a VOA for PlayStation, and those will have separate questions and a different
So the numbers
focus.
are different. Yeah, the numbers are different. The focus is different. PS4 will be its own thing, but for Xbox, we're going to be here. It's going to be similar questions to what we had earlier. So if you were here earlier, you know what we're going to talk about, but there might be some different things in between. But seriously, we're just going to say thank you for joining us. We enjoy doing the VOA. It is hard work getting people to come in at 3 o'clock in the morning for the first one and stick around for the second one. But yeah, we're seriously thankful you're here.
The other thing is someone was asking what happened to the couch. So if you've seen the first VOA, we had a really horrible green screen.
Mm-hmm. It was see-through. It was see-through green screen.
Yeah, and we wanted to kind of go back to that, to go back to our green screen. Unfortunately, our camera has upgraded quite a bit.
It doesn't work. The camera you saw during the countdown was the camera we used to use for the streams. It's a webcam, and that is currently up in the sky. We moved it around, and you saw the dodgy green screen. That was us going back to the roots of the old VOA.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, I got a couple more things I just want to quickly talk about. Mm-hmm. We will not be revealing new classes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we cannot reveal that information right now for Xbox.
Right.
We'll be revealing it soon-ish, maybe next week. For the update schedule, there will be no update for Xbox today or tomorrow your time. There won't be one next week, but there will be one the week after. So basically both PlayStation and Xbox are going 2 to 3 weeks without an update because last week we had a government basically cultural mandated half week off, and that slows everything down. Right. So in order for us just to take a little bit more time and make sure things are done properly, we had to delay the updates a little bit.
Yep. The other thing is, for people who say that the stream is kind of lagging and stuff, it's a Twitch issue with the audio not syncing up, right? So just
possibly.
Refresh it, maybe? Refresh to see what happens.
I can see it on our stream, actually. I think it's the capture cards. Now that can we move that off for a little bit? Oh yeah, if you don't know what it is, it's Lunar Thanksgiving. It's a Thanksgiving harvest, basically.
Yep.
So yeah, it is a little bit delayed. I think it's the camera.
Is it too good?
So look, watch, move, let go, move that.
Let go, move it.
So look, you see how I move my hand and then it
yeah,
moves.
I see it.
So yeah, we're gonna fix that. It's not gonna be fixed now, unfortunately, but we'll have to take a look. I don't know why that's happening. Anyway.
So with VOA, so we're gonna take the questions or go through what happened in the survey. We're gonna go by categories and ask you guys about more details about what you guys have responded with, and go from there.
Yeah. So let's get into the first one. There we have it. PvP versus PvE content. Okay. So for PvP versus PvE content, we basically just wanted to know.
Hold on. Someone just wrote, "We don't want PvE." You'd be surprised.
All right. Someone said we don't want PvE. I will tell you that 89.2% of people who responded were more PvE focused players. That's what they enjoy.
Yeah.
And then 10.8% prefer PvP as their preferential way of playing.
Right.
So what this means is a couple of things.
Yeah.
It means first that, we have to look at the PvE content and see if we can improve it for those who enjoy it. We also have to look at the PvP side of things and see why people don't enjoy it and what we can do to improve it.
Yep.
So these are the two things we have to look at, and that's what we're going to be asking you. So we'll start with the one that had the bigger response. PvE content, we'll talk about the 89.2%. So what can we do? What do you enjoy about PvE, and how can we improve it? So let's start with, what kind of PvE do you guys enjoy? Also, please, I'm going to say, stop spamming classes in chat.
Yeah.
Just stop. We're not about that today.
Today's a conversation, and spamming classes just kind of ruins that.
Yep.
So, some are saying boss fights.
Someone said it's a PvP game and all PvEers need to stop crying. Okay, so I just want to quickly tackle that. Yes, it's a PvP focused game, but there is a lot more than PvP. And you even said, why don't they just focus on creating life elixirs? That's what they're doing. That's how they're making money. Some people like that kind of stuff, like economy side of things. Some people like the life skilling side of things. Some people like the the PvP aspects.
Yep.
Everyone has this is why Black Desert is what it is because there is a way to enjoy doing what you do and existing in a world where people can enjoy what they're doing.
Right.
So that's one of the things.
There's a lot of people already saying dungeons. When you I get with dungeons, but can you guys expand on that? So what specifically out of a dungeon do you want to see? Party content, stuff like that.
Someone just likes leveling up new classes. That's fair. I do not enjoy leveling up new classes, mainly because I get bored of following the storyline after a little bit. I did one character, I read through everything, and after that, I've never touched it again.
Someone said more interactive mobs. So instead of just following an aggro, do something with it. Right?
Yeah, I can see that. All right,
I like that idea.
All right, just so chat knows, we've put it in a 30-second slow mode. So yeah, we're gonna try to just slow it down. There's a lot more people here right now, so we have to kind of just slow it down. Okay, so Dark Rifts are coming soon.
Yeah.
So someone brought that up. I don't know if they knew what Dark Rifts were last time. Someone brought it up. Dark Rifts will be coming soon.
Yep. Dark Rifts, ocean content, same thing. How do I explain this? Things that are on the roadmap and things that are going to be coming anyways are going to come. What we want to know is what things about PvE do you like and that we can expand on, or what things don't you like about PvE that we can maybe minimize on and further develop.
Okay, we understand the performance issues. I just want to put this out there. We're going to be talking about that in a bit.
Yep.
So we'll bring that up in a bit. Someone said raids. Raids, underwater dungeons and stuff. Raids is a great idea. But it's implementing it in a way where, it works in the open world feel. Because I'm not sure if they will ever do instances. We can certainly ask. But the thing is, raids differ between different games. So, there's the puzzle side of raids where you have to do XYZ task before you can go fight the monster. Then there's the raids where it's just get a whole bunch of people together, go here, plow through a pseudo dungeon, and then get to a big boss that requires 20, 30 people. Which, if the mobs in the Serendia Shrine were difficult, could technically be a raid. The world bosses could technically count like that. So it all depends on what kind of raid you're talking about.
PvE server?
Okay, we talked about this earlier. Unfortunately, PvE servers are 99.9% never going to come. It will ruin the economy. It will. There's a whole bunch of reasons, but the risk reward factor is one of the things that like comes up. Like you have to make a choice. You can go grind the top grind spots, but you're gonna face fierce competition, or you can go for something less popular where you can make less amount of money, but you'll be safer doing it. Like that whole decision is part of the game design process. So unfortunately, we have tried, we have asked, we have talked about it. Unfortunately, we don't think it's going to be able to make it in. So yeah.
Training dummies, trading.
Someone says drop rate. More content like the Altar of Blood has now. Altar of Blood on PC is basically like a tower raid.
Yeah.
You know what it is, right? So basically you go through the floors. It's something interesting, and I haven't actually thought much about it, but it's something that we can definitely talk about with the developers from this.
Anything else along the lines of PvE, I guess? So
someone says new PvE drops. Now, Gear Treadmill is kind of what that is, and that's something that Black Desert doesn't really have, for good reason. With our enhancement system, a Gear Treadmill just would not work. So the Gear Treadmill, if you don't know MMO terms, Gear Treadmill is basically each update brings new, more powerful weapons. So your old weapons are now the second best weapons. So you have to grind to get the best weapons, and then you just keep going up and up and up, right? That's how the Gear Treadmill works. You're constantly on that treadmill to get new items. Unfortunately, actually no, I'm gonna say it. Fortunately, we don't do that. I personally think like the Gear Treadmill is a bit of a weird thing. I get the idea of like constantly going for more powerful stuff, but with the enhancement system, it wouldn't work properly. So, Okay. I completely get it though. I completely get it. So if we could introduce more things that we could do with a Gear Treadmill in another area, maybe. So yeah, more gear.
I like that. So sorry, guys. As you guys put things down here, we have a few moderators who are taking down all the suggestions. So if we don't get to it, I'm sorry, but we will be looking through it after. Someone did bring up something that I kind of want this expanded more. So PvE is fun for this person, but the mobs or the dummies should be more like Dynasty Warriors 3. But I'm not sure what you mean by that, because Dynasty Warriors 3. They just fly. Like the mobs, if you touch them, they go down. Right? So I'm not sure, like I kind of want that expanded upon.
So it's kind of like grinding Red Nose Imps when you're level 60 at like 300 AP.
And just drop them?
Just drop them. I think, I actually agree that there should be maybe more difficult mobs. And not just stat tanks, basically. Like, you know, you have to have this much AP to deal this much damage. I would like that. It's very difficult to use, like to improve AI, to create an AI that feels natural.
Okay.
That's why things like world bosses take a long time to develop.
Yeah.
It's because you're developing like the AI for that boss. So I love the idea of like, how can I say this? Increasing. So if you don't, I'm taking notes. That's why you can hear my keyboard. Increasing difficulty of higher end mobs. Yeah.
When you say increasing difficulty, do you just mean APDP or do you just mean
increasing AI difficulty? The AI difficulty. Like, if, for example, Crescent's got their act together and decide to like just wail on you. Yeah. Like they come in from all sides, like smarter AI.
As someone just said though, isn't that Kama? Like if you go to Kama, they're already difficult. It's not so much as AI, but APDP wise. So but you have to be smarter.
Yeah, so you have to be smarter, but it would be nice if the AI would also get smarter, I guess, is what people think. Like, the AI needs to be smarter so it will be able to deal damage to you and maybe take you out. So I guess that's where it could come from. All right.
Anything else for PvE?
Someone is saying Manos. Manos is a long way off for Xbox. Manos life skills are quite a way away. And people who keep spamming potato mode, that's not what we're talking about right now. That does come up later. cut it.
Yeah.
Stop spamming it. Like, we know that you want it. We've talked about it 20 times already. Please just chill out. We're trying to just, get
Taking
things
all
about
these things.
PvE. Yeah.
Yay, conversation. Right. Group-related activities, I saw that. We'll be talking about that a little bit more later, because it's in one of the later questions. So please stick for that. And let's see. So far, it's okay. Okay, so PvE content-wise, it seems like a lot of people do enjoy. Someone said or mentioned it earlier. I forgot the username. I'm very sorry. It's just a different way of playing the game.
Yeah.
And expanding on that section, whether it's life skilling or something else, different ways to play this broad game would be a good idea. So if you guys have any suggestions for that, please do throw that in.
So more group content that actually comes in later as well. We're just generally talking about PvE here. So PvP, I want to move us on to PvP.
Okay.
So, what is not enjoyable about PvP?
Yeah.
And how can we improve PvP content? So PvP is one of those things where a lot of people do it, it's good, but it has issues. So we want to know how we can make it better, and we want to know what your opinions on this are. So someone's already put in a good one. Red Battlefield parties.
Yeah.
So this comes up with us as well. Like, we would like to jump in, but we don't want to be on the same team, or we want to be on opposite sides. So it would be nice to have a choice. Red Battlefield teams and scoreboards.
Yep.
Because there's no scoreboards. More maps as well. Yeah, I'll put that in. Maps for RBF. What about game modes as well? Game modes?
Yeah, any game modes that you guys can think of would be kind of cool too. There was a couple people who were saying like and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but a capture the flag kind of thing.
I'd love it. Someone already put like Oddball or Capture the Flag.
Yeah.
Oddball, man. Griffball too. If you ever played Griffball, Griffball was the bomb.
I think this kind of summarizes more than a few players at least, that some people are saying that they're just bad at PvP because they don't understand the combat system in terms of like CCs, cancellations, protections, and stuff.
Yeah. It can be difficult. It can it's a learning curve to do PvP versus PvE.
Ooh. Actually, this is, I think you saw the ones that I saw as well.
This one from Unlucky Ferret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Unlucky Ferret, wonderful username. Pre-awakening PvP arena with a level 50 cap, APDP caps as well. That's interesting. I like that one.
Yeah. So we talked about this a little bit earlier. Like, if we were to do APDP cap, how would we do it? Now, probably one of the suggestions is just to raise everyone up to the highest level.
Yeah.
And have the differences between players in skill points. And that way, then you could pseudo balance it by reducing AP, reducing the gear that you give people when you normalize. But yeah. That
suggestion was really good as well. Someone also said something like King of the Hill.
King of the Hill would be pretty good if there was an actual mode for it.
Yeah.
Team battles and Arena of Arsha. Like, Arena of Arsha is technically team battles.
Yeah.
So they're very similar. It's something that we've asked for, actually. We have asked for Arena of Arsha mode.
Yeah.
I can't remember why. There's a bit of development that needs to be done for it. That's it.
Okay. I'll touch on this. So someone was just saying like PvP is not fun because they just get ganked by like 5 people all of a sudden. But I just want to ask you guys out there, how often does that happen to you guys? Honestly,
it's never it doesn't really happen to me.
Yeah.
I've never been ganked. I don't live in the gank by gank world, but that's because we're on a different time. Like, when I play, no one's around. Like, I can just sit in Gahas, I can sit at Crescents, I can sit at Nagas. I can just chill because when I play, it's 11 o'clock p.m. KST.
So
which is super early for you NA users.
A lot of people are saying like not often, never kind of thing or whatever, and someone's like on Arsha often.
Arsha is a PvP server. I get that. Some people say all the time. Now this is the thing, right? Are you semi-toxic in chat? Because that does, like, this is the thing. People who complain about PvP kind of do put a target on their own heads.
Yeah.
Because if they do it in chat and they keep doing it, people get annoyed and then they see you and they're going to be like, well, I know where this guy is. I'm going to go pop him. And that's also another thing. Like, people will come to you and pop you. So, you know, we're aware, all right? So when the entire witch does massive AoE damage and the entire guild's composed of nothing but them.
All right, let's touch on this because there's already happening this in chat. But that's in your time. Like, did you think about other people's time? That's actually what the VOA is for, to get your feedback opinions. And your opinions on these things.
Yeah, like, we wanted to do this so that we could get your feedback. We're not, like, this is the thing. We don't want to just go forward and put our opinions or opinions of a couple of people forward. We want to get as much opinion as we can so that we can make a strong case going forward. It's also the same for things like invisible walls and lag. I don't get invisible walls. Some people do.
I do.
So that's why we want to talk about it. That's why we want to bring it up and talk with you guys about this kind of stuff. You know, that's why we do this, so that we can get your live feedback and we can have a bit of a back and forth with a few of you, and other people can chime in and do this kind of stuff. So that's what we do. Okay.
Add a bounty system by putting silver on other players' heads.
Oh, I'd love it.
A bounty system would be kind of cool.
Bounty, as long as it can't be abused.
Yeah.
I said a little bit about this. I used to play EVE Online a lot when I was younger. And there was one guy who had a bounty which was like basically every piece of silver in the in-game economy, and then just never logged in.
So you just held all the economy?
Yeah, but it's in bounty.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So it was like a 7 trillion-isk bounty on EVE. And then, like, never logged in again. So he would always sit number 1 on the bounty leaderboard, but nobody would ever be able to get him. I think his name was, like, Goku642 or something like that. Going back in the day.
CC system needs to be improved.
Okay, so some people CC limit break sometimes with some classes.
Yeah.
There is a limit of CC system improvements.
Yeah.
So there is a limit on the amount of CCs that can be done. I don't personally know it off by heart. I think it's 4 ticks of CC, and then you'll break out of it. It's something like that. There is like a CC limit.
If you get killed by a player, right, who's flagged up, what if you set a bounty on them?
Yeah, that's
the thing, right?
That's the thing.
That's the thing we're talking about. I like that. Also, for people, like, the ones that we're responding to are the ones that are giving more meat in their responses instead of saying fix this. I like the ones that have a lot more detail.
Yeah, someone's saying 2.5 cc's or 2.75 cc's. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I knew there was a limit on it.
Yeah.
So a CC break system for PvP. Now, how would you implement it? Would you implement it based on the amount of times you're CC'd, or would you base it on like a reaction-based input that would get you out of CC occasionally? Because that emergency escape. But like, how would you implement like the, you know, how would you implement that? How would you implement like a CC break?
Ooh, hold on. On another topic, sometimes in Red Battlefield, one side has 8 people on the team and the other one has 3. And the team with more gets more people.
Take a look at it.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that one.
RBF balancing, team balancing.
Team balancing, yeah. Large scale PvP.
Reaction and CC are immune to 4 to 6 seconds. It's not a bad idea. Reduce PA buff in half. Yeah. So yeah, someone's mentioned about Red Battlefield rewards. We are looking into that, actually. That is something we do want to do. We're going to be trying to push it through as soon as we can. But we're talking about balancing it and talking about it, and you know, there's other things to do. But yeah, wiggle left stick rapidly to like Monster Hunter stunts. That's how you break controllers.
Yep.
My PS2 controller learned that the hard way when I used to play like Dragon Ball Z Budokai.
Oh,
yeah.
Once you flag up, there should be a timer that
you cannot turn it down. Yeah, we've talked about that as well. We'll bring that up again.
Yeah. We have that
flag up timers.
Yeah, this is VOI. So we actually have that on mobile, and that system works really well. right? So I really want to bring that up again.
Mm-hmm.
So basically on mobile, like if you flag up on somebody or just in that instance, it's a 10-minute cooldown. Like you can't just toggle up back and forth.
Okay.
So
even
if
10-minute cooldown.
So it's like you flag up, even if you get killed, it doesn't reset the timer. Like it doesn't just immediately go to 0. You still have 10 minutes.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof. I think that would promote a bit more. Like I think that would swing too much in the opposite direction. Like a 10-minute cooldown for us, it would swing too much in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I mean like mess around with the time, but I kind of like that.
I like the idea of having like a 2 or 3 minute cooldown timer based on the last time you attack someone.
Oh.
You know, so if you hit someone, like this is the thing, minutes. Right? You have let's say we do 3 minutes, right?
Yeah.
You have 3 minutes from the last time you hit someone, not 3 minutes from the time you flagged.
Yeah.
Or it's 3 minutes from the time you flag, and every time you hit it resets that timer.
Yeah. Not 10 minutes. You guys are right. That is way too long. There's some I don't know, have you considered that? There's certain things that are in mobile that I really do want to see in console.
An implementation.
Yeah. Some of the things I can't really talk about since mobile hasn't launched in the West yet, but certain things like how towns are done and certain events, certain boss instances, I kind of want to see those on console. I think just working it out on console is a little bit more difficult, but yeah. I think it'd be cool, right? Ooh, what if you had a life skill server?
No.
It would just destroy the economy, no?
It wouldn't destroy the economy, it'd just be weird. Because you can just do that with the level 49 guy, but then there's no risk.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about this. RBF has no balance at all, correct? There is, if you get a group of people together who are equally geared, it's balanced. But I think normalizing would be nice. Open world PvP is trash because people just try to feed you to mobs, so you break crystals and stuff. Okay. Sieges suck because every siege guild is composed of like 50 witches spamming massive AoE, and they scale super well so they can do damage in deeps and never die. That is something you need to work on with your guild, I think, because there is a way to break. If someone has all witches, there is a way to break that. It's not an unwinnable strategy. It's not an unbeatable strategy, I should say. Like if it was, we'd have seen it in other services. We would have seen it on PC. We'd have seen it on, we'd have seen it on everything else. Witches are integral. Witch and wizards are integral because of protected area and their healing buffs and things like that. They're really good in sieges, but a whole team of them shouldn't be able to wipe people. So we need to have a look at that. If it is an issue, or if it's just the strategies haven't evolved to the point where you can, comfortably take it on. So we can take a look at that. Witches are OP in Siege. Okay.
Yeah, like Witch is my main, but I know that they're actually quite overpowered. There was one person who was saying, if it's possible, a PvP time where when you flag and you hit somebody, the timer goes down, but when you get attacked, the timer pauses. Right? It doesn't go to 0, it pauses. But when you die, you become unflagged, but you can't flag up for 10 minutes.
Oh, something like that could work. I like that idea.
I like that idea.
Yep. Someone said pings for Siege. Boys, it's possibly coming soon. Soon. We had another discussion about it, and apparently it's been worked on for quite a while to try and get it so that it's a comfortable thing to use. Because you can't just press a button on the controller because nearly everything is already done, and then it's like how does it work? How does it show? So luckily for you guys, it's something that is almost like it's in testing.
Yeah.
So it is in testing. Yes. That's all I'm going to say. Yes. It's in testing. We're taking a look at it. It has been developed. It has been added to our dev servers, and we're testing it.
Yep.
And then from there, we test it. We see how it performs. If we think it needs more changes, we'll delay it a little bit more. If we think it's fine, we release it. That's the thing. I mean, it could always be cancelled. But I doubt it. I doubt it. So yes, pings are going to be coming at some point.
Yeah.
Double tap start for ping. Now that has its own issue. How would you open and close your menu?
Based on timing, but I feel like there's.
But if you do that, then you have to add a delay to the start time. The menus coming up.
And there's already delays with that, so yeah.
So other people are saying like graphic issues and like potato mode would help. We know that.
Yeah.
For us, it's something that we are actively talking with the devs. We're pushing them to try and get that in. So we know that performance would help drastically with PvP, especially Node Wars and Siege Wars, like large scale, medium scale, like small scale, like Red Battlefield or open world. We know there are issues with rendering. We've seen that. We've reported it. We've talked about it. But for large scale especially, we know that performance would help drastically. So it's something that we are working on. And optimization is one of those things where if we keep adding a lot of content, it's just going to be like a never-ending rat race of like, we push optimization, we add new class or new content. And they're just going to move like that. So they're always going to be spaced apart. But we'll get to that in a bit.
Make ping a ring menu option. I know.
That's what's being tested right now. I don't want to really go into it, but that's kind of what we're testing right now as a ring menu option. I do feel like we're leaning a bit too heavily on putting things in the ring menu.
Yeah.
But it does work. It's just you have to know about it to understand how to do it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. So we are working on guild pings and we're testing that and seeing how it works. Because some classes need ring menus more than others. So you won't be able to have a guild leader or someone ping if they're that class because all their bars are already taken up with 6 skills and 2 potions. So yeah.
Yep.
We're looking into it. We're working on it.
Black Spirit Rage. I know about that one.
Yep. Right? Black Spirit Rage locking is also something that we are looking into. Okay. All right.
Anything else?
Someone said don't group the classes, witches and wizards together. We don't. We just, when we're talking about this kind of stuff, it's easier for us to group them together. But when we go back, we don't put witches and wizards. Like, I literally have in my thing right now, witches are OP in Siege. I don't have which wiz are OP in Siege. Like, when we talk about it, it's easier to just clump them together.
Right.
But when we go forward and have meetings, we specify which ones need to be improved. Additional hotbar keys, I have no idea how we would go about that. How would we add a new layer of ring menus? Every button is already taken, unless you have like a foot pedal.
Ooh.
Like introduce a whammy, like a wah-wah pedal for your guitar. Yeah, have that. I don't know how that would work.
That'd be kind of cool though.
Just like have a drum kit set up for your like striker gameplay, and you just and then you play something like Ninja, and it's like ridiculous drum solos everywhere. That'd be fun.
So this is kind of why I really wanted to do the VOA as well as Shirna, because every time someone posts a suggestion in chat, there's someone else who just like, you're horribly wrong. Right? And so when people are just like, oh, come on, you know everybody wants this, and the next person's like, nobody wants that.
Yep.
Right? So having this kind of...
Someone said RT on a button. The problem is that RT is integral for skill combinations.
Unless we remap everything.
But then that's just like, where are you going to... Okay, then if you do RT in a direction, what are you remapping RT to? And then it's just going to cascade from there, like...
Oh, add the... What do you call that on Xbox? I call it R3 if you push down.
R3? R3 does something?
No. So like someone is saying like if you press down on one of the analog sticks, and then that could add another layer. So LT.
Well, one of them does auto pathing.
Yeah.
Like this is the problem. I play a muscle memory. I can't remember what buttons do what, and I don't have an Xbox controller, but I think it's L3.
Yeah, so
what does R3 do? R3 does camera control.
Yeah.
So if you tap it, but then if you hold it, then it's going to start moving your camera.
Yeah.
So again, like
Good suggestions, but yeah, we'll have to
Yeah.
take a look at it.
LT
the
plus
select
Y.
button.
Wait, LT.
L3 is auto.
L3 is auto. I was close, man. I was close. R3 is zoom. LB is used in
Yeah.
combinations. So this is the thing. Like R3 is also draw weapon and sheath.
Mm.
That's it. That's close.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like people say like add new ring menus, and then you say like how to do it, and then everything just cascades. Like if you do this, we got to move this. Where's that going to? Oh, that'll move here, and then where's that moving to? So it's yeah, we get it. It's difficult. This is why like when we take things, we always just talk about them.
Yeah.
Because we don't understand everything about how the game is designed from the ground up, and there are some things that just may not be possible. So that's why we have to go and have a meeting. Give a ring menu option to pull up more ring menus. Ring menuception is a great idea.
It's a terrible idea.
It's a great idea.
It's a terrible idea.
You press it without LT, and then it opens up an LT. Like you select a ring menu where it's LT and up inside the left ring menu, and then you have to press all the other buttons. Genius suggestion. Genius. Okay.
Never.
Never. Okay. All right. I think we went a little bit off topic there.
Yeah. So PvP content.
Thank you for your suggestions. Thank you for everything you've said in chat. We have been scalping this, and we'll go back through the chat when we have chance. So if we didn't get to your suggestion or we didn't talk about it, don't worry, fret not. We do have it all written down. It is being taken, and we're going to be looking through. We're going to plow through everything when we get the chance, and then we have a meeting with the developers about Xbox only VOA. So we're going through it. Don't worry if we didn't get to your suggestions. Thank you for everything that you've done so far. Let's move on to the next part, which is what content would you like to see expanded upon now?
So there were 5 options. More things to make the world feel alive. PvE content, PvP content, guild/party content, and more classes. Now, judging by chat, I can see which way they voted, right? At the beginning of chat. However, they'd be horribly wrong.
Yeah,
right?
Weirdly, the option that I felt was a little bit too generalized, because I had, when I wrote, because I wrote some of these questions, right? When I had this idea in my mind, I knew exactly what I was thinking, but I knew other people wouldn't, because someone came to me and was like, dude, what is that?
What does that option mean?
What is that option? So the option that won was more things to make the world feel alive with 69.6%. Fist bump. Yeah. Okay, so 69% of the people wanted to make the world feel alive. Oh, God. No, stop. Okay. 12.4% wanted more classes. 9.6 was guild PvE content, 5.6 was guild and party content, and 2.7 was PvP content. Okay, so.
All right, so first off, this question was phrased in a way where I don't think this is the only thing they want to see.
Yeah.
They don't want to see the other things. This is more of a priority base. Right?
No, not really. Like, priority means that it would take over everything else. It's more of a preference.
Preference, okay.
So which one would you like to see more of? Okay, hold on. My throat. So what does make the world feel more alive mean?
Before we get to that, we want classes. What the hell? Apparently 12.4% of you do.
12.4% people are still waiting for Tamer, Kuno, Mehua, Mistake, and the class that shall not be named.
Yep.
So we understand that you're waiting for it.
It'll happen eventually.
We'll get it. Oh, I mentioned Tamer, right?
Yeah, Tamer was mentioned.
Leiko was like Tamer. We mentioned it. Okay. Someone said, I can't read that word beginning with V. I don't understand what that class is. Like, we understand that people want new, fresh classes, like the Shy that we had. It does take a while to develop those, because you go from concept to basic testing to design to everything.
Yep.
So yeah, we understand. People want the otter class. You seem to have had a cult following on the otter class.
I love this idea. I want this otter class to be a thing. And again, I said this before, it would pair so nicely with the Shy, right? So the Shy buffs and debuffs, and the otter just kills everybody.
Yep. Okay, let's get back to the results.
Yep.
So, 69.6% want content that makes the world feel more alive.
So when you made this question, what did you mean by that?
So for me, I meant like quests that change the world as it is. So like, I used this example earlier and it was kind of ripped to shreds as it should be because it was an off-the-cuff example. But imagine Delph Knight's castle where the Harpists finally win. Right. The Harpists drive out all the humans, and then there's a couple month, like a month or 2 month quest line where like, you know, you build up. Each week there's a new thing to do, or like, you know, a new stage in that month-long quest where you take back Delph Knight's castle and you push the Harpies out.
Yeah.
It would, obviously this is something that would break the main storyline.
Yeah.
So it's something that we would have to, you know, put somewhere else. But this was the idea, and it changes just the feel of the world. Like quests that have a definite beginning and a definite end, and it's much shorter than the actual storyline. Because the main storyline has 0 endings.
Yep.
Even up to Camasilva, there's 0 endings. Nothing has ended.
Yep. Jordine is still around.
Jordine is still like, you know, just searching for something. I don't want to put spoilers in there in case people haven't played Dragon. But then there's like, you know, Elezra's still just walking around doing her thing. Well, what is she doing in Camasilva? Who knows? Nobody knows.
The Delph Knight thing is not a bad idea. What if it was a server event?
Like, server event would actually be a really good idea.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's actually a really good idea. Like, make it like server events that go on for... What if it was like your own quests that take you to a new area where you have to like push out the Harpies? And for that period, the Harpies actually have a buff. So they're much stronger than they are now, only for this certain period. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about when I talk about I think of Living World.
This would be something that affects everyone at that time, you mean?
Yes.
Right? So someone was asking... Mr. Cookie Bubbles, basically quests that temporarily change the environment. Not just quests, but things that like you interact with the environment, right? So someone earlier had said like weather changes, seasonal changes, and stuff like that.
So those do exist, but they do come with downsides for console. For example, cherry blossoms, the extra particle effects do kind of bork the performance, and that was early on. So we have optimized since then, so it may work for other months, but we need to find out. So someone said, please make the game stable first. This isn't an either or.
Yeah.
And this, like, if we talk about this now, it may not be introduced until months later. But we want to we want to ask things where like we can just make the game feel more alive. Because right now, every day I go in, the NPCs are in the same place.
Yeah.
This region is always like this. This area is always here. This random NPC is always walking up and down in a straight line in the street and never stops moving.
Yep.
So to me, like, I know some people don't enjoy the immersion kind of thing, but like things that change the world and make new environments and maybe add new mobs or new, like, you know, it gives a fresh feeling to things that don't necessarily need to be added to the game. That's what I think. So what are you guys thinking about when you answered that question? Is what I'm asking. World of Obs, where certain mobs attack a town or city, like alert pops up in server. I have had this idea is one that I do love. Like random events where you have to defend, let's say, Velia from imps.
Yeah.
As like the low level version of this event. Or
would you allow them to choose sides though?
For this kind of thing, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like, this would be like a defend the city and you get something nice at the end of it. So it's like a wave rush through the cities.
Okay.
So imagine, like, Valencia starts getting encroached upon by A, Gahaz, and B, like, Nagas at the same time. Nagas coming from the south, Gahaz bandits coming from the left side.
Yeah.
Something like that. And you have to help defend the city. I'd love that idea. Someone said most people play the game for PvP. 89.2% of people who responded to the survey would disagree.
Yep. Community gold quests, basically, yeah.
That's it, yeah. I love that idea.
That's the idea. Someone said earlier, and I forgot the username, I'm very sorry. Someone said earlier, like, what if it was a server quest where Nuver doesn't go down, he just starts attacking random towns?
That would be beautiful.
And, like, it wouldn't be like a world boss, but a world quest for everyone on that server.
To try and get him to
and like he may have like different mechanics and stuff like that. I think it's a great idea.
burns all of Valencia to the ground. Every NPC is dead. Try trading now, boys.
Except Creo and his fishing
Creo
rod.
doesn't exist in Valencia. I said Valencia,
No,
not
I
Velia.
just mean like in the world.
Oh, Velia.
Just everyone is gone except Creo.
Okay, someone said the new dock was a nice touch. I agree.
Yeah.
It would have been really nice. Wait, what? I don't get that. I don't know where that came from. What? Okay. Anyway, someone said the new dock in Velia was a nice touch. I 100% agree. It was something where like if they add something new, maybe there should be an event up to it. So if they wanted to add that dock for making the world feel more alive, maybe you could have like people donate silver or wood or something like that to a cause, and then you have it built up, kind of like how the Camisilv tree worked, but more basic, not using energy and not having to go through 3 different steps to get there. Something like that is kind of what I think of when we do it. So community goals, monthly community events like guild missions, but for the entire community. I love this idea.
Dungeons and raids for making the world feel more alive. So we talked about this in the previous VOA for EU. I think that'd be more, if we can make a story with it and get it to work, I think it'd be kind of cool. I would like to see dungeons, to be honest. But like, how do I explain this? Same thing, like I would like it to be a community quest or community goal, right? To go towards that dungeon.
So instead of, let's say, you just go to Serendia Shrine to fight Kazaka, there's a whole bunch of pre-quests that need to be done. And that could technically be the raid.
Yeah.
But the problem, like, one of the things is you can, if you make something raid-like, but you don't call it a raid, I've still seen people
get really angry
and ask for raids, if that makes sense. Like, there was, I remember playing another MMO where they revamped something so it was technically raid-based. You had, the whole server would have to defend certain objectives, while you have, like, a burning group, you have a group protecting A, B, C, and, like, they all had to work together.
Yeah.
Basically, a raid. It walked like a raid, it talked like a raid, it ended up as a world boss. But then people were still like, well, when are we getting raids? And for me, it was just like, well, this is basically what your raid is. And, you know, so if we do it, we have to call it raids.
Sorry, there's a lot of like really cool suggestions here, and I kind of like it. And the one that just stood out to me: motorcycles.
Motorcycles. What if we had cars that go through the desert? So Node Wars. Someone said, "Isn't that technically Node Wars?" I mean, yeah. As soon as the quest is filled, lag is grindy. So we'll talk about performance in a bit. It's something that we will talk about. We're not ignoring it. We're trying to focus on this question right here.
Yeah.
So what would you like to see? There's a lot of really good. Give us a horse that goes vroom vroom and we'll be happy. Give a horse. Hear me out. Give a horse.
This already sounds horrible, but all right, let's do this.
Because whenever you hear me say that, you know it's a terrible idea. What if we had a horse costume that was in the shape of a race car?
A horse costume shape.
So basically,
like those like children's Halloween costumes with like
yeah, exactly. So it's like it pokes out as a car, it goes behind them. You give it some spoilers on the back. You give it some exhibit options like spinners on the wheels and like underglow. Down for that idea. Underglow, man, underglow.
It's on the $10 Walmart underglow. There's a few where
give that horse nitro. Oh, thank you.
And it has drift.
And it has drift. Exactly. You could have, like, it could be street racing. Someone said that's a stupid idea. Sometimes, you know, the stupid ideas are ones that we'll talk about because they're funny.
Too fast, too ferret. Oh, man. That'd be cool. So someone was saying, sorry, back to this one. Someone was saying, and I believe it's the same person who said it before, if you win Siege, or if you do nodes, to make the world feel more alive, what if you get to hang, like, your banner?
I like it.
Yeah.
Because it kind of, the banners do appear.
Yeah.
But because they're not personalized.
They're not personalized, so I think personalized one would be kind of cool too.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, those are great ideas for that. Honestly, like I really
the car
like
was
these
not.
ideas. The car. Don't worry, guys. We're never going to suggest that, and if we did, we would probably be thrown out the window by the game design team.
Yep.
They would be. That's why we haven't quite suggested the wrestler class until we get that sorted. We've talked about it in past streams.
They did that on PC. The car? They did not.
Car?
Wait, what?
I think they're talking about other things.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
I don't think they're talking about the cars. The car is the only good thing so far. Yeah. Someone said cooler titles. Now, here's the thing. We have when events come out for like the Kill Katum event.
Yep.
We were given the option of creating a new title.
Yep.
Hence, what I made a Stone Bleed or something like that.
Yeah.
Was the one we went
for. Was it like Stone Cold Killer?
Stone Cold Killer. That was the one. Stone Cold Killer. And we went through so many amazing ideas that were shut down because of innuendos.
Uh-huh.
Just shut down because of innuendos. Should we go through some of them that we had? No. But you can imagine, it's a stone, and stones are hard. And yeah, okay, we went through a lot of ideas. So like, if you ever have ideas of this, let us know and we can, think about it. This is mostly Xbox right now, but it does end up going to, the old... So it does end up going through the old idea passage. Someone said wagon passengers up to 8. Love that idea.
Yeah.
And that would work for guild and party content too. So okay, couple of the more stats on this. The 12.4% for more classes. We know what you're looking for. You're looking for either fresh classes or the old classes, and a lot of people have already made this evidently clear in chat. So we're not going to talk about that. PvE content we've talked about. Guild party content. Now, people talk about like making more party grind spots, like Giffen. What's the other? Miramok. I like those ideas. It's a really good idea, honestly, brilliant idea. But how do you make it so that it's not just more of that same stuff? So how could we do it? Will Shay ever be able to use a wagon? I don't know. Honestly, we have to talk. Guild trade or guild storage? Guild storage is actually something we're bringing up. We talked about it the other day. Because I have I have 3 of those Essence of Furies because I do guild quests on my own at night, and I have no way of pooling those with the others. Right. So we have no chance of combining them to get the scrolls. So something we're talking about, something we are looking into. More things like blue whales and cogs, the hunting bosses. Yep. I can see it, but the hunting.
I think it's something we can take in, though. I think it's a good idea.
Sea monster, as someone said, sea monster hunting does come.
Yeah.
Sea monster hunting is a thing. So I do like the idea of cosmetic rewards as drops and maybe pets. We have been discussing some things like this too. So, yeah.
Group grind areas with roaming events or hot points so that you go in sequence and it tells the story.
Yeah.
I really like that.
And that goes back to that live living, like how to make the world feel alive kind of stuff. Really like that idea. So let's say you go to a place. Let's say you go to Miramok as a party, and then a random event comes up while you're there, and it's a mini guild. It's basically a party boss. And let's say the trigger is a random number between, let's say 1,500 kills and 8,000 kills. And when you've got that many kills, a random guild boss appears, party boss appears. So weaker than a guild boss, but more powerful than like an elite. Yeah. Like a trigger like that. That would be kind of cool, I guess. I like that idea, like having random events show up. That's a really fun idea. Expand upon arena, Archer, and PvP outside of daily. The game needs more incentives. I agree. We've talked about this before. There should be, I think there should be rewards for defending, but then it's abusable because you can just have a weak friend flag up on you and you can farm rewards. Yeah. So it's a trade-off, like PvP rewards. I do like the idea of improving PvP. We're looking at Red Battlefield in terms of rewards, where we can ask more about like how to make it more popular, more modes, more maps, that kind of stuff. So yeah, those kind of things. What about interactable environments in Node Wars like drawbridges?
Ooh.
There are gates. Yeah. Interactable things for Node Wars. Maybe you could get your guild to like have shabby shovels and like dig a trench around your guild, your node, and you put the barricades on the inside, and you have a moat. And then like if you go catch crocodiles, you could bring them in and put them in, and they do damage to people trying to walk through.
This sounds like a tower defense game all of a sudden.
Okay, so yeah, those kind of things. Interactable things for Node Wars is a great idea. Let Guild makes right on the back of the horse. Something that can come, I just don't think is ready right now. Hide quest log, 100% agree. Something we've requested. Seriously, man, give Shy Rabam and absolutes. Okay, I want to talk about Rabams a second because I've had this discussion.
Okay.
Shy's base skills include Rabam level damage, in terms of PvE. She doesn't have PvP. Oh no, wait, not Rabams. I was thinking absolutes.
Yeah,
so absolutes are rolled in. Rabams. Okay, sorry. Rabams and absolutes. Someone mentioned absolutes. So absolutes is what I was talking about. Absolutes are already rolled into skill damage. Rabams, man, it's like, what could you give her as a Rabam? Like, we're still adding skills to her.
Yeah.
She's still getting new skills in pre-awaken and awake. Like, mostly pre-awaken. I think she's received a couple of passive skills lately and one active skill. She got Go.
Yeah, I saw that
one. So we're still adding skills. She's still a class in development. We're not finished with her. So there we go. We're looking into it. Someone said make Shy good in PvP. Man, she's a support class. I don't know how we would make... If you make a support class OP, or make her good in PvP, they become OP, i.e. Witch. Which has a lot of support.
And people have just said this right now, is that she's support.
Yeah. So the cooldown on her heal is way too long. I agree.
I agree with that one.
We have mentioned that before. I'll put it back in here. Shy heal, cooldowns, too long. But she does get different... I don't know. Yeah. Someone says gold keys. Stop spamming it, please. Gold keys. We're working on bringing it. But no time limit. Because if there was, people would abuse the market and buy all the silver keys. So we're working on it. But we will never reveal that before it comes out. Someone says Witch and Wizard are better support than Shy. I agree in pre-awakening, but in post-awakening, Shy has a lot more versatility.
Yep.
Shy still can't ride a camel. I know, but camels,
But yeah, we strayed from the guild/party content. Right? So let's go off to our next one. Right, which is PvP content we talked about already. Yeah?
Yeah, let's move on to the next bottom topic, the overall topic. Oh, 1v1 and 3v3 and 5v5. I do like that idea.
Yeah. So, someone posted that before. 1v3, 2v2, and 3v3. I think someone also mentioned 5v5.
Small scale.
Small-scaled team-based battles. I like that. Because we have that on mobile.
And it's also in... It's like Arena of Usher, basically.
Yeah.
We did a tournament we did an Arena of Usher tournament before Xbox launched. I helped SEA do their tournament, and they had 3v3 all the way up to the quarterfinals, and then it switched into a 2v2, but you get to ban one person off the other team. So it's still 3v3, but you ban one person for one round from each team, so it's 2v2.
Ooh.
And it was a weird system.
Yeah.
But we can look into having those small scale arenas because I really like it. I really like that idea. Okay.
Valk needs optimizing. Still looks like a man. You can't optimize something that doesn't exist.
No, when he says that Valk needs optimizing, still looks like a man, he's talking about a warrior, man.
He's
talking about warriors.
Could change that hair from red to something else.
Yeah, change it to green. Change it to green. Okay. All right.
So priorities, right?
Priorities. So 84.4% of people said that game stability should be prioritized.
Yep.
But then I didn't write this number down, but it was something like 64% of people said they need to find a balance between optimization updates and content. Beautiful thing. Like, that's how I expected it to go. I wasn't expecting 84.4% of people to say game stability should be the more important one, but they did. So game stability, we know that there is lag, we know that there are issues, we know that there are frame drops, rendering issues. Lag, we're gonna disregard that term.
Yeah.
Because lag is more of a network issue when we talk about it like that. So frame drops, stuttering, and invisible walls.
Yeah. So we asked earlier, but I'll ask here as well. Where do you guys experience the most amount of invisible walls? For me personally, it was in Calpheon when I'm on a horse that's just going fast, and then in open world when I'm using sprint. Right? So cities. So a lot of people were saying horses, I think. So someone just said Villia and Heidel. Is that just on foot, or is that on a horse or wagon?
Well, I mean, you're slowed down on horses in those cities, right?
That's something I still want to get to the bottom of that one.
So running, I guess. See, I don't get it in the cities. Myself, Villia, I get a little bit of micro stutter maybe when I enter. But then generally it's fine. But when I'm out grinding, I'll notice frame drops considerably.
World boss areas?
World boss areas, we know.
Yeah.
We're trying to get the Hide Other Adventurers to be dropped lower than it is now. So we're looking into that. So a lot of people say Calpheon on horses. Hitting walls on the roads. Now, I don't experience this myself, but then usually I autopath, and when I'm on my horse and drifting, I still don't experience it. So this is why we're asking. My experience is I don't get it.
But when I sprint, I get it.
So, well, that's
on the different platform.
On the platform that shall not be named.
Until next week.
Until next week. So in cities, even on foot. Okay. Seems to depend on what Xbox. We know that. The Xbox One X is obviously better than OG and S. But everyone has been suffering these problems. Like, some people are getting it on their X's. A lot more people are getting it on their OG and S. Someone said, is it recorded or live? Bobby Vegas 68.
I don't know.
I think I just proved a point. Okay.
For optimization, so in terms of invisible walls, it seems like most people are experiencing it at the cities or on the major roads to cities.
Yeah.
Right? World boss ones, I know that.
Node Wars as well.
Yeah, Node Wars.
And someone said, SSDs help. Now, yes, they help. No, we are not relying on that as a fix.
Yeah.
I do not want to say, go out and buy $100 SSD to put the game in, and that will help. That's not a solution. That's a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
If you want to do that. If it works for you, great. I'm never going to suggest that. And we still talk to the devs. I don't have an SSD on either of my Xboxes. Yeah. So we have to look at the other things too.
Sprint XL spam makes walls on T6 on Xbox One. On T5s as well, to be honest.
Yep. Someone said, okay, this is the kind of stuff we're looking for here. Horse sprinting on the 1X plus SSD, no walls. On the S, walls. Same wired connection. One of the things I remember reading is that the S and OG technically don't have USB 3.0.
Okay.
They have a weaker emulated version or something like that. I remember reading it's not great in terms of SSD on those. But on the X apparently it was fixed. But yeah, I mean.
Okay, so that was actually helpful with invisible walls part.
Yeah, I like thanks. Also, when fighting on the Xbox One and grinding on it, I hit screen freezes. So those screen freezes are what we call stuttering.
Yeah.
Those are definitely engine based. So we will bring that up with the engine team. And polys is a very, any big group of monsters, but anything that summons more and more and more. We actually clipped this and sent this to the lead guy of
Yeah.
Black Desert and was just like, because we did it on stream, right?
Yeah.
So we sent that and we were like, bros, like, this is unacceptable. We need a fix. So yeah.
So I like that. For game optimization, something else that someone said. Someone was saying that the Hide Adventurers doesn't work with world bosses, and that's because there's a threshold, right?
Uh-huh.
So because there's more world bosses and players are more spread out, that threshold is a little bit high for certain world bosses. So we've talked about bringing it down. Right?
Yep.
We've talked about bringing that down, as well as what's the other one? There was an issue with Kronda because it's a small space, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So Karanda is a much more cramped world boss than, let's say, Nuver, even Kazak and Khatum. It's a much more cramped space. So we know that really does hurt in those areas. So we know that.
See names. Yeah.
During Node Wars, people don't load in.
Potato mode we've already talked about, both on stream as well as with devs.
So it is something that we do want to bring.
Yeah.
It's something that requires a lot of development. So some people think like, when you port a game, you just literally grab it, make it work, done. However, we can't do that. That's not how it works. A port has to be changed. That's why performance changes. That's why like textures change. It was brought up. We had a discussion, and they said, "Okay, we understand, but it's going to take time." So time is something that we're gonna have to take with this. We will bring it up in the next meeting because we know that you guys are very passionate about potato mode.
Sorry, people actually don't know what potato mode is. And
potato mode is lowered textures and graphics to make the game look worse but play better.
As an option.
Right. Not as default.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff. Lower, basically an optimization mode or a performance mode more than a beauty mode. So that's basically what potato mode is. Sorry, we've been calling it potato mode now for about, a month and a half?
Yeah.
So like for us, we just assume that everyone knows it. We do try to introduce these terms. But yeah, we're going to take a look at all the performance issues. So the reason why we asked this question, now some people might think that this is a stupid question to ask. The reason we asked is because this question plus the question that came after it in the survey about like how we should balance it, help us go to the devs and say, look, maybe it's time to just not push content this time. Instead, let's push a pure optimization and fix update. And it's okay to do that.
And I'll touch on this as well because as you guys saw earlier in chat, there were people that were saying optimize the game before you add content. And there was a loud group of people who were saying, just give us all the classes now, optimize it later, right? And when you see that, when our devs see that, they get like, oh, should we actually push more content? It's been a week without content. Are they going to get bored? So having this kind of a question is a good thing, right?
Yep. So we understand that, everyone wants new content, but we also understand that there is a desperate need for more optimization.
Yeah.
And the last optimization update we pushed, worked mostly for Xbox One X. Because I noticed a performance increase. Everything felt a lot smoother. However, that didn't translate to everybody else.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. We know optimization isn't just like a enter one line of code saying optimization good and it works. It's a lot of going back through old code and refreshing it or, taking some things out, putting some things in. So it's not a simple fix. And the rendering thing is tied to optimization. If we had slower user and NPC rendering times, general frames and performance would be better. It's a trade-off between the two.
I want no more pop-ups. Are you from PC?
I don't know. Unless they're talking about pop-ins, which is an engine issue that has been persistent since the dawn of time of Black Desert Online. And we know.
We are very aware.
We know. Did you ever watch the really old trailer we had for Black Desert Online, and then someone tried to use it for Xbox?
Yeah.
And like, it's a trailer, the camera's moving through, and the textures pop in on the trailer, and I'm like, oh my god, At least it gave an accurate representation of what it looks like in game.
Can you take out all the non-interactable NPCs
During wars?
during wars? Yeah.
Is there generally that many NPCs in those areas?
I'll take a look.
It depends on the node you're on, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something we'll look into. It's something that we will ask.
But as I said, there's varying opinions. So there's someone just add all the classes and then optimize them together. Whereas there's other people who are also saying, nah, fix it first, right? Like polish the content, then put it out. I, for one, would like it more polished, like optimization. And someone brought it up, again, I forgot the username, I'm very sorry.
Balance.
No, the balance I get, but someone was saying, what if you had like a pure optimization update, but it comes with an event?
Yeah.
Right? So I like that idea.
Yeah, that we can do. We can do events plus that kind of stuff. So that's something that we'll bring up. So someone said, why not dump all the classes? Classes come with their own technical issues. And each time you add a new class, it adds more CPU draw or something like that. It adds more draw because you have to have rendered all the skill effects for each class because you never know who's going to pop up on your screen and try to pop you. So if it takes time to render that in, or it has to try and pull it out of nowhere, you're going to be hit and killed by effects that do not appear on your screen. So that's one of the issues that I believe they face. It's something I've heard before. There's a lot of technical challenges to get through with classes, especially. So we know that classes are popular, but if we dump them all, there is a very high possibility that performance would take a massive nosedive, even worse than it is right now.
Why does this question always come up? Is this an official stream?
Yeah.
Is this an official BDO stream?
BDO, no. BDX. We are Xbox. We're console, we should say.
Console.
We are console community managers here at PearlAbyss.
But yeah, I like the suggestion for, for optimizing. Looks all right. No attack effects.
Yep. So someone said, let us zoom out further. We've put it as far as it'll go. Let's make it stable at that and then think about increasing it a little bit more.
Right. I get the thing. So someone just posted but we've had to wait a long time for our class. Yeah.
We get it. But you wouldn't have known that class that existed if it wasn't already out.
Yeah.
But no, we get the way. We know that you're patient, and I know a lot of people have probably took a hiatus waiting for their class to come out. But it is something that we're actively aware of that people do this, and we know. Okay, we know.
Yeah.
You know. Everyone knows this. So yeah.
I think we can kind of move on from there then.
Yep.
Yeah. So
what's the last thing?
So the next one.
The last one before we end the VOA part and just chat. Communication breakdown. Now, this is one of the things that it wasn't a surprise, but there's differing opinions based on where you are in terms of what programs you use. So we're on Discord a lot.
Yeah.
Now, we know the question was, does PearlAbyss listen to player feedback? And the answer was the one from the worst option, I would say, and that was the majority of users. So how can we improve listening to you guys? So we're on Discord. We don't appear in-game, but we do have, we do read in-game chat. When we see, so this is another thing about toxicity, which we'll touch on after this, is we are in chats. We do monitor what you guys are saying. We don't actively monitor. There's things in the middle, but we do read what people are saying. We see what people post on the forums. We see what people post on Discord, Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So we do take that feedback and we do provide that to the devs. But like, how can we make you guys feel more? How can I say this? Involved.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for the Discord, it's in the link below. There is a button on the Twitch page.
Or it's discord.gg/playblackdesert.
So someone said be more visible in-game. It's really, really, really difficult for us to do that. It's not just a case of...
For us specifically.
For us specifically, yeah. So it's not just a case of us turning on the Xbox and just being in chat. There is a lot of other things that we take care of.
Yeah.
We take care of like GM notes, patch notes, images, notices, event notices, event creation, like we do give
event
feedback.
Creation, QA, LQA, translations, localization. So I'll step into this for a second. So community managers from different games and specifically different companies as well, each CM has very different responsibilities, right? From company to company and from game to game and all that kind of stuff. Within the console team, the GMs and CMs, all of our responsibilities are kind of fluid, right? So they all kind of go into one another. And we took a pretty big hit with communication because we've been missing from Discord and all that, and I get it. I'm really sorry. Like, I want to be more involved. Just had a bunch of work. Oh, well, I'll get to you guys in a second. So we just had a bunch of different things going on. It's not an excuse. It's not a good one. I want to figure out what we can do more. In-game chat would be really fun. Someone said play the game. We do, but not on the official GMCM accounts, right? So we have our personal accounts. Not telling you guys what it is, but we play on our personal accounts, and it's one of those things where if we share it, like you said earlier, it becomes work, right? And we do enjoy the game, and we wanted to keep it like that.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, we're in-game, we have personal accounts. We want to enjoy the game as well as work on the game. If we gave it out and we start talking in chat, that means that private time, when we just get to sit back and grind or sit back and do life skills, becomes more work.
Yeah.
And I don't know about anyone out there who has a job. You need that separation between work and personal life. And for us in the game industry, your work and personal activities, your personal hobbies, like I would say that Black Desert is a hobby of mine. Yeah. Right? That line is very blurred. Right? But you still want to try to keep that separation. All right? We play, someone asked, do we play NA or EU? We play NA purely because the time zones work better for us. In terms of Node Wars is at 9 a.m. instead of 2 a.m. in the morning. World bosses spawn at now. And then it's just time zone wise, it's better for us. Which is why we play. Otherwise, I'd play in EU because then I can play with my brother.
Yeah. Kind of cool. I'll say one thing about the time it takes to get certain things done, right? Because we do want to communicate more, but certain tasks that we're given, like Shirna writes the patch notes, right? But he gets them in Korean. And when they come in Korean, they're not written in Korean, in story Korean, basically, in full out sentences. It's written as
dev speak
scripts. Right? It comes as scripts. So Shirna, do you want to go over it?
Okay, so the reason why patch notes take a long time to write is we have a very short deadline from when they come in to when they need to be finished to, get translated, and then we work more on them. Yeah. But essentially they come in lines like rock A has been moved from point B. And honestly, that's something we have to filter out. So first we have to filter out what is in the list. So the list will say, we've changed a rock from an unnatural position in Source and Garrison, which is one that I actually removed from the last one. So that comes up. I have to filter that out. Yeah. But then the Korean doesn't necessarily say that. Yeah. The Korean will just say, this here.
It was, what was it? Translated, it was kind of like, unstable rock removed or something.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I didn't know that like
Yeah.
rocks had physic balance. Like, you know, there's just balancing and stuff. So like that's actually really difficult. So that takes a very, very long time to do.
Yeah. Someone said earlier, what if you guys did, like, doing this is difficult in terms of timing, but doing like an AMA
Yep.
again and have that done. I like that idea. I think timing
Or
wise,
just being like set a time where we could be in game.
Yeah.
Something we have
We need to bring that up.
considered,
Yeah.
but setting up a time where we could be there for everyone is difficult.
Yep.
Because for you, we need to be awake at 3 o'clock in the morning for prime time. For you guys, this is prime time. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So we that's not a bad idea.
Another one is teaming up with basically like partners and streamers and listen to their feedback.
Something we are working on.
We should,
behind the scenes too. Like we have the ideas, we're putting them forward. How we can progress with that. If we were to do it, I think first we would do it privately.
Yeah.
And then from there build it up into maybe a stream or something, because there's a lot of streamers who have a stream persona and then their actual persona, like their actual personality. And if we do it live on stream, we'll get that stream personality. Whereas, you know, we want their considered ideas, not their, you know, hot-headedness that they put forward in their stream. So we do that. If we did it, we do that on a more personal basis.
Yep.
And we're considering it, actually. It's something that we are working, like we're finalizing details our side.
Yeah.
And then we'll put it forward. But yeah.
I do like the AMA idea, if we have the time. Someone said more blooper videos.
Sure.
I don't know if that's communication. Nothing.
Just record us during the day and highly edit out the language that comes from my mouth.
I'll talk about this one. Communication issue feels more of an issue with CMs to devs than it is community to CMs. Feels like our feedback hits the devs and gets ignored.
Okay.
It's difficult to kind of traverse through that question.
All right. So okay, the community to CMs, thankful.
Yeah.
Like,
thank you for saying that. That actually makes me feel really happy.
from the CMs to devs, these devs have had years and years of abuse from other members in the team who are just like, why aren't you fixing this?
Yeah.
Why isn't this fixed? And like, it feels more like a demand, and that does kind of shut things off. We've helped kind of like turn a corner.
Yeah.
And we're more polite, and we ask, and we're genuinely interested. So that feedback has been, you know, it's been walled off for a while.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not necessarily our company that these devs come from. It's the old companies they work for too. Is that, you know, people come up, and whenever they have a meeting, it's like, this is broken, this is broken, this is broken. Why did you break it?
Right. So what we've tried to do with the meeting that we had actually was, if we say something is broken, we want to give them suggestions or more details. Like, this here is broken. Here's why I think it's broken. Here's where most of the instances happen, how they happen. Which is why I asked you guys about the invisible walls and specifically what tier and what skills you're using. Because that helps more than someone saying, fix the server. Right?
Or fix invisible walls.
But that's not attacking you guys in general. That's like our devs getting abused from other people in other companies when they've worked, right?
Yeah, it's like, imagine being in, let's say you worked on another game.
Yeah.
And the whole time you had a meeting with, like, let's say the business team. And it's like, this is broken, fix it.
Yeah.
And that's all you ever heard. Then you come to another company and they're like, let's have a meeting. You're going to be like, oh God, it's going to be us getting reamed out again.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, devs are people too. Devs have feelings.
Dev feelings matter.
They're human. But our devs, we have a great relationship with.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, not all community suggestions can be implemented.
Yeah.
There is a plan, and there is like what we can introduce from your feedback. Now, what we can do is we can give that feedback, and it might find its way in either a later time or in a different fashion, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So this is why it's important. We take that feedback and we give it to them, but we talk about it.
Yeah.
And the way we talk about it is we're nice, polite, and we say like, look, man, this is something that the community have come up with. We don't know if you could do it, but, you know, if you can take any ideas from this and possibly implement it in your style or in your way, great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't do the opposite where we report from the devs to the users about like the true feedback. Because, I mean, we could,
true,
on
but like
some
specific
things,
feedbacks.
Yeah, so
right?
it's like
And
some
process and
things,
stuff.
actually after this, we go to the devs.
Yeah.
My plan is to release an article the reverse way.
Like, here's what the devs have said.
Yeah.
So someone was saying, and a few people were saying actually, getting a dev on stream, but translation would obviously be an issue. It would, like, live interpretation is really difficult.
Live interpretation is a lot more different than translation. There are people
Yeah.
who are amazing translators who cannot do live translation. It's a real difficult skill. You can see this if you ever watch international like esports events.
Yeah.
And you have like a Korean commentator, a Korean to English translator. Sometimes they are great at both languages, but on the fly,
It's hard to code
it's
switch.
hard.
So in our meetings, like, I like being able to switch between the two.
Yep.
But it's a lot of like, get it from Shirna. All right, cool. Translate in my head. Talk to the dev. Get it from the dev. Translate in my head. And so doing this on camera is gonna be hard. So, as well as on stream, when people are just like Volk when, and then in Korean you hear never, it's gonna be really horrible. So I don't know if it'd be a stream, but maybe video or like a written interview. Because again, people are shy in front of a camera, right?
We've talked about maybe doing like a podcasty kind of style, which is something that, you know, we have to talk about, see if we have a setup for it, because a stream room doesn't really work in terms of audio quality for podcasts. So it's something we'd have to look at.
Someone was also saying, if you're a community, you guys are people too. Take our ideas and make them better. We do. We like polishing some of the ideas and
Yeah, I mean,
going from there.
I've seen ideas and I've been like, you know, that's a terrible idea. But if we did this, from that idea, we can make something good.
Right. And if it doesn't go in, we put that on a back burner and try to develop it even more.
So one of the event ideas that I don't want to put out right now because we're still very in the development. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yep.
Came from an offhand user comment where they said, "Why don't we do this kind? Why don't we have this kind of community event?" And I was like, "Damn, hold on, I can improve that."
Yeah.
And like we've been polishing it and coming up with it and we're working out logistics, but that's how it works. Right? You guys present something and it may not be the best idea or it may not be the most well thought out, but it gives us a chance to further build on that or present it to someone who can build on it. So yeah.
And get that going. I like that idea.
Yep.
Just make a list of common questions and report dev responses. That's actually what the point of the VOA is. Hopefully we can actually publish some of the
It's
dev
also
responses.
some of the things that we do in streams.
Yeah.
Generally, if we did written content, not a bad idea.
Yeah.
The only issue is more written content.
And more translations.
I mean, I don't mind doing translations. It's not difficult. It's time consuming. That's the thing. It's not difficult. It's time consuming.
Yeah.
And plus, okay, I don't know if you guys you know about like sub languages, but devs speak in a very different Korean than normal Koreans.
Anyone who's worked in the IT industry will know that developers will speak in a different.
Or think of
French.
doctors. Think of doctors, man.
And they're writing?
In English.
Yeah.
The way they speak about medicine is a completely different way of speaking than like normal conversation.
Yep.
And devs are notorious for this kind of stuff. It is so bloody difficult.
Yep.
When they talk. So someone said, "Do you both read and speak Korean?" I read.
Yep.
Don't speak very well. And I listen kind of okay.
Yeah. I speak and read it.
Yeah, he's really good at it. I'm kind of bad. But casually, I can listen and understand, but I don't respond well. I cannot speak.
Yeah.
Which is weird, actually. I should be able to speak.
You speak it well. It's just that, like, and this is the thing with devs as well, right? Our devs can actually speak English.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them can speak English. It's when someone goes, all right, speak English, and that's just like, I'd rather not.
So in meetings, there are times where like I will speak English, the devs will understand,
And
they
speak
speak back in Korean, and I understand.
It's
So
beautiful.
It's like there's universal translators between the two.
Yeah.
But it's you know that's something. And so I just said speak for us, man. It's so damn hard.
Weird.
It's so damn hard. Just it's like people who say, "Oh, why don't you speak in your home accent?" And then I have to think of like what I say. I've actually just like put a phrase in that I say all the time. Yeah. And like that's the only thing I'll say. And yeah.
I don't know what you just said.
Yeah. So basically, okay, we understand now where this communication thing comes from. It's the
perception of what goes on.
It's the perception of what goes from the dev to the CM to the community. So it's the reverse communication.
Yeah. One thing to go on about communication though is your vacation.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me just delete that image from there. I am semi-moderating Discord at the same time. Yo people are messed up. Okay. Okay, let's close that off. So I am going away for 2 weeks. I'm going back to Blighty. I'm going back to England. It will be from September 29th to October 12th. Probably be back on the 15th. I'm not sure yet. So I am going to be away, which means all the work that I do is going to be piled on this man right here. We'll try to share it around as much as we can. I've tried to do as much as I can before I leave.
Yep, it's been helpful.
So during that time, there won't be streams
From us.
From us.
Right.
It's going to be more difficult to get content. Trent is probably not going to be on Discord.
Yeah.
I am not going to be on Discord because I will be spending time with my family. Because I haven't seen them in 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've been home. So, I'm going back to Dudley, where I live, basically, where my family live. So, that's just going to be, yeah.
So during that time, communication from both of us will be even a lot more slow,
Yeah.
Because of patch notes, images, and all these kind of stuff. But
we can try.
We can try. We're trying to think of something.
Yep.
To keep that communication
We've
going.
thought about doing like a stream where I jump on Skype, but then I remember that the internet in my dad's house is basically potato. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically.
Yeah, because when I went home for I think a week, just going back to Canada, I was just this is great, and then I experienced our internet. I was like, oh god.
It's like I remember going home and like trying to play StarCraft 2, and I went from like the beautifuln's of like Korean internet to whatever that is called in my dad's house.
Yeah.
And it was like going back to the Stone Age of internet. It's hard, man. It's hard.
Getting Hexley to come over, it'll be.
Hexe coming on stream.
I'm gonna murder him. Like, no, I'm gonna get this out here. If Hexe and me stream together, I'm actually going to murder him.
Okay, actually, one of the last things we can talk about communication before we bounce into more casual stuff. For communication, how about tell us what is being worked on instead of hiding it? Now, here's the thing. There are things that may be worked on that are super exciting for people to hear. If we said, this isn't true, I don't know if it's true, but if we said, there's work being done on, let's say, dungeons, people would go ape.
Yeah.
And then there would come a point where we have to go, like, let's say it just doesn't work. There would come a point where we have to come out and say, guys, we've canceled that idea.
Yeah.
And yes, the more reasonable people would be like, okay, that sounds like game development. Like, things get deleted, things get cancelled. But there is a very sizable portion of not just the Black Desert community, but there's a very sizable portion of the world who would be like, why?
Yeah.
Why is this done? Like, you're useless. And that's why there are these, like, developer secrets about some things that are being worked on. We're quite forward about, like, the roadmaps. Yes, they're more generalized, but that is things that are actively being worked on that we are working 100% to release.
Yeah.
There are other things that are being worked on that are in very early development stages
Yeah.
that may or may not be released. And if we come out and talk about those, and then it doesn't happen, there would be not outrage, but there would be huge disappointment that people would suffer, and we don't want to do that.
You guys have experienced a mild form of it when we kept saying the guild scroll lock has been fixed.
Guild scroll, yeah, it's been fixed. It's priority, and it didn't.
It just didn't. There's that. What was? There was something that I saw. I really want to touch up on it.
So we can try. We can actually. This is something that we are going to do. We're going to be talking to the devs about what we can do to help communicate what they're doing to you guys. We've talked about it. We've touched base with them a bunch of times about this, but like we want to get super serious about it.
Yeah.
But they are very hesitant as well.
To release that
kind of information. So it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Okay, someone said, when is there going to be a PS4 stream? The PS4 stream will be in
next week.